Good afternoon, everybody. This is Dennis Wilborn from all the Active Trend Traders, and also with me is David Grandy, my co-host from allabouttrends.net. How you doing, Dave?
I'm doing wonderful. How are you?
I'm doing well. We're busy as can be, getting past the pre-launch so we can launch into the rest of our premium services, but all the services are kind of up, and the alerts are going out, and have some people who are reporting back that they're pretty happy with the alerts that are happening, and when I invite people just to trade along with me or at least take a look at what I'm trading, and I do a lot the same thing you guys do. I don't have a lot of positions on at any one time, because we're basically, both of us, you, me, and Harlan, kind of laser focus in on a select few of awesome IBD quality growth stocks, and I of course throw in the TNA, which is the 3-time leverage for the Russell that I like to trade a lot and gives great signals, and so it's pretty good. So
yeah, exactly. Only the best, forget the rest, is what we like to say.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, that's right. That laser focus thing works really well. I'm going to zip along here so we can chat all day. Just want to remind everybody that all material that is presented here is for training purposes only, and whenever a new idea about trading is presented to you, always learn how to first learn that system or that strategy by paper trading it before you risk your own personal capital. Several of the trading platforms offer paper trading accounts, and it's really nice because it really can help you practice putting into different types of orders and that type of stuff, so that the first time you do it with real money, it won't be a total freak out. So let's see, Dave. We'll save that for last, right? I know you have something. We'll save that for last. But I want to give everybody a market update for today, Friday, the 13th of June, 2014. Excuse me. S&P and Dow pulling back. The NASDAQ is doing an okay pullback. When we get to the charts, I'll explain what I'm talking about when I say okay. The Russell, Dave and I talked about this one earlier before we got online. We both like the way the Russell is pulling back, nice and control. I got some, it's showing where the buyers are coming back in as it drops down a little bit. So we'll look at the charts. Some of the outside influences, I don't know how many of you were up real early this morning, but the futures about 3 o'clock this morning were down. Not a huge amount, but they were down due to some of the unrest that's going on in Baghdad right now, with the militants trying to take over the capital there. So all in all, given that was weighing on the market, I'm really pleased with how the market performed today. Because oftentimes when you have potential unrest overseas somewhere in some particular hotspot, the market will sell off into Friday because nobody wants to hold over the weekend. Isn't that right, Dave?
That's right, exactly.
And so and today it didn't happen. So I'm really, I was really pleasantly, I won't say surprised, I was just pleasantly that was one of the observations we could make going into this weekend. So let's get going with the S&P for a real quick review. Let me get my drawing tools out. The chart on the left is the daily chart. The chart on the right is the weekly chart. As was true with the S&P. Here was Monday, basically a shooting star type formation, and sure enough, we start getting shooting star followed by a hanging man, which are both bearish signals. And sure enough, on Wednesday, Thursday, we get a sell-off. But what I like about the action today, while we did drop below the 8-day moving average yesterday, today we get a bullish harami, which is a bullish sign that the downside may be over for a while, or it's looking for a place where it can bounce from. And it would make sense for it to bounce from this area because we've got a little bit of support in here. And of course, we could just go sideways, pull back down, wait for the 20-day moving average to catch up, and then bounce higher. That's if we're going to go into a more sustained summertime rally. And but we may push higher through mid part of July, and then see if we get into the summer doldrums where we may get some a little bit of correction. Taking a look at the NASDAQ. The NASDAQ liked the NASDAQ similar pattern, but in looking at it, it was just some of this selling. But the more I look at this, a little bit more positive than I was when I initially reviewed it. The NASDAQ last week broke through the lower part of this channel that had been price channel that had been moving in for well over a year. Came up, hit a new high, got extended, and then pulls back. But look where it pulls back to, right to the extension of that upward trending channel line. Stops there yesterday and then retakes the 8-day today. So what to be looking for next week? We may still have some side removes going into next week. We want to see what happens with the stochastics. I don't use stochastics as a trigger to get into trades or whatever, but it can be an indicative a little bit of the direction that the momentum on the stock is going. The other thing I'll look on the weekly chart. Our momentum is certainly turned over on the NASDAQ in the stochastics on the weekly chart, and also the weekly momentum indicator that I watch has dropped off a little bit this week. And then there's the Russell, not the CRUT, the Russell. So that was when my fingers moved. Okay, stop laughing out there, guys. There we go, the Russell. Isn't it interesting? With the extension of the trend channel that the Russell had been working in throughout most of last year, we came right up to it after this hammer here. Last week you get this nice move higher. Monday it tops out, almost touches the trend channel, and then reverses down. But again, finds support at the 8-day moving average. What oftentimes happens, and I'll just do a little drawing here, is oftentimes see how once the Russell, we had a positive divergence on the stochastics here as the Russell was hitting a low, and then it starts to climb back up. And then all of a sudden what you see is rather than the stochastics getting all the way down into the way oversold area, it starts turning earlier. And so we hit a low, a higher low earlier last week, and we get a bounce. The pattern looks very similar to what we may be getting today. I really like on the Russell, and I'll be utilizing this for a potential trigger on the TNA for early trade next week if we get a confirmation, because this is a really nice, almost a dragonfly type doji / hammer, and you can also draw a really nice little trend line. David, if you were drawing this trend line, what color would it be? You guys use the red line, right? Dave? Dave?
I'm here now. Sorry,
Okay.
I muted myself.
Okay.
It would be pink.
Okay, pink.
Yeah, for the pullback off highs.
Okay, and I basically use either red or but yeah, Dave does that for consistency. But that's something I'm going to be looking at very closely next week, and so expect an early potential early alert next week if we do get a move back to the upside. So So somebody asked what is the purple line. I don't know if it's this purple line. That's the lower portion of the trend channel that the NASDAQ had been operating in. And so, Dave, that's what I got basically for the markets. Yeah, like I said, I like the pullback that's going on in the Russell, and one of the reasons why is it would come down and drop down, but then with the exception of Thursday, the buyers came back in and took it back up into the upper half of the candle. And the same thing happens today. We sold off to start off, but the buyers came back in and bought it back up. So, if you're talking about this moving average line, Sanjeev, that's the 100-day simple moving average. So, Dave, that's what I've got on the market. Any questions, anybody? Okay. No, Dave, let me hit into this portion. I just want to give everybody an update for some of the trades we were doing last week. This is what we're projecting. This is what we have this week. We had to close out a couple of positions, one in P&A. Palo Alto Networks did that early this morning, and unfortunately that was a whipsaw type thing, but we had to get out of it on weakness. And then Jazz sold off earlier in the week, and then it's still trying to reconstitute itself, but it is not broken out. No income trades for this week, income generating trades for this week, but I have already set in place some income generating trades that we are open in for going into next week. Wuba's doing great. That was a call about 2 weeks ago, and then the TNA trade is still doing fine also. We'll look to add to the TNA if we get the breakout moving higher for both income generation and longer-term capital growth. Dave, that's all I've got. May I switch to you?
You may.
You got it. And if you all have any questions, please shoot them to me now so I can respond.
Okay, well, thanks a lot, Dennis. Yeah, this week was, it was off to a pretty good start, and we pulled back on Thursday, but overall, it's just kind of a consolidation week. That's the way I look at it, and those are healthy. I mean, I'd love to have the market be up every day and all my stocks be up every day, but that's not how the market works. They go up, they pull back, they go up, they pull back. That's healthy for markets. That's what's healthy for markets, healthy for leading stocks. The consolidations are necessary for the markets to move higher and stocks to move higher. So we just have to understand that and welcome that when it comes, even though it's not always fun and it's tests our patience, but it's a necessary evil to accomplish our goals. So the positives are the Russell and NASDAQ, in my opinion, they are assuming their leadership again. They're reconfirming their leadership. They both bounced off the 10-day moving average really nicely this week. So very orderly, constructive pullbacks, and leading stocks for the most part are acting very well. We had some pretty strong moves in some stocks, and we had others that consolidated very nicely. So really a lot of positive things out there. It was just one of those weeks that you just have to get through, and in my opinion, we're in a pretty good position going into next week, where we should see some better action in leading stocks. So that being said, just go into what we start off every week with, the 3 things you need to know: uptrends and how to trade them, downtrends and how to trade them, and changes in trends and how to trade them. And since we're in an uptrending market again, we're pretty much all the action right now is on the uptrend patterns. And there's 2 types of uptrend patterns. Pullback off highs is our #1 pattern. This is when the stock is in a confirmed uptrend above the 50-day moving average. Low volume orderly pullback to support. You can say that the indexes, the S&P, Russell, and NASDAQ, and even the Dow, have all sported pullback off highs patterns. Every single one of them. In fact, we included a chart of each one of them, with the exception of the Russell, in our newsletter today. They all have classic pullback off highs patterns. So what is a pullback off highs pattern? We're looking for stocks in confirmed uptrends that are trading in uptrend channels, and they've pulled back off of a recent high towards areas of support. This is SLXP. We talked about this one last week, and it triggered and went to the moon this week. It was a really nice trade for our subscribers, and this is exactly what we're looking for. Your trade trigger is a break above the pink line, and then you can sell it at resistance here as it meets the new high, which is what we did, except we were a little bit tardy on that. We got it a few points off of the high, but it was still a nice trade. VIPS, we've talked about this one. Nice pullback off highs, and it's in an uptrend that's pulling back off its highs. It triggered, and now it's forming yet another pullback off highs patterns as the indexes consolidate. So, and that's typically what happens. Leading stocks, they follow the market typically, and when the market's pulling back, leading stocks will pull back, and when the market's roaring, leading stocks will roar, and that's just how it goes. So, so anyway, like I said, I think we're in a really good position here. As VIPS is about ready to move higher again. Cores is still in an overall uptrend, consolidating very nicely, very quietly, and you can see it's setting up again too. So, and then Trinity. Trinity's been a pretty nice, been in a really nice uptrend, very nice performer, kind of a steady as she goes type stock, and it's pulling back in a relatively orderly manner. This wasn't so great, but it's calmed down a little bit here, and it's got multiple areas of support with the blue lines and the 50-day moving average. So we're just looking. We'd love to see it pull back here at least to retest this blue line again, and then launch higher by breaking above the pink line. So that's the pullback off highs pattern. The other uptrending pattern is the right side of the cup crossover. We had a lot of those a couple weeks ago. This is a great way to buy stocks at lower points rather than wait for them to complete the right side of a cup and then break out by buying them at as they're building the right side of the base. You're buying them much closer to support, and you're managing your risk better. It's a very easy trade, very clear buy point, very clear stop. We talked about Facebook last week, and it triggered this week, and it kind of got caught up in the pullback with the indexes, but pattern's still intact. It was looking just fine. Multiple areas of support not too far below, so, and lots of room to run up to the former high around 72. So lots of potential here. Gas log, same thing. It's forming a new base. It's building out the bottom of the cup right now, and we just would like to see it really clear this green line and the 50-day moving average with some conviction and start building the right side. And as you can see, it's got pretty good room to run until it gets up to its old high around 29. So it was pretty much a week that was constructive for potential gains. So it's just one of those weeks we just had to get through, and so we did get some nice gains this week, and we'll continue to take advantage of those opportunities as they set up. As you can see, these are just a couple setups that we have. We've got many more on our watch list. So I think we're really well positioned. It should be, hopefully by this time next week, we'll be talking about everything that triggered and the gains that we got. That would be good. I mean, we're definitely set up for that. So that's it. How to contact us, allabouttrends.net. You can email us at customer service there, and you can give me a call. I'd love to hear from you. We have a free 15-day trial, no credit card required, just name it, email, and you can trade in tandem with us and get a better feel for what we're all about. And that's it, Dennis.
Okay, Dave, thanks a lot. And I like that trade in tandem aspect and that terminology. Because somebody were talking about, well, somebody said something the other day, they said, can we ghost trade after you? And I'm going, ghost trade? What in the world does that mean? And but that was the question. And so
yeah, we give you the setups like I just showed you, and then we when a trade triggers off of our watch list, we send out an alert. This is what we're buying, how many shares, at what price, and then when we're taking profits, you get a lock-in gains alert and that says the same thing. Hey, we're locking our gains. So all you have to do is read our newsletter and sit back, relax, check your email, and then when you get trade alerts from us, you can trade in tandem with us, either with real money or, like you said, try us out on paper trade for a while and see how that does for you.
Yeah. So, well, let me hit just real quick. Thanks, Dave. I'm going to go switch back over to I have to answer one more question. So can you like hum or something so it doesn't, people aren't annoyed by my typing? And so,
you want me to do a song and dance? Is that what
yeah, do some humming or something, because I'm sitting. Joe, the answer to your question is yes, we will prior to the end. So, thanks, Joe. And so I want to go back really quick to my screen, and one of those stocks that I'm really looking hard at next week. That is basically kind of. Let's see, are we showing my screen? Yes, we are. This is one of the trades we're really pleased with, David, that took place down here about somewhere between $39.50 and $40. Is this breakout on WUBA? One of the things I'm tracking on it, and we're doing it both as a cash flow and a long-term capital growth, and we've got basically those who are following the trade. If it gets up to about 47.75, we'll put in a stop, a trailing stop to take out the cash flow portion of the trade, and then the anticipated move, of course, is to complete the cup, because it's just looking so much like it wants to put in a nice symmetric type cup, which would put it back up in the 57, 58 range. And I'm anticipating that could happen by the mid to late portion of July if the summertime doldrums doesn't hit too quickly. And then the other trade, which I would, if it continues to set up the way it is, guys, look for an alert early in the week, and that's on Tesla. Almost sent one out today, but because this downtrending line was so close to where we finished, I said, let's give it just a little bit more. If we break this trend line, it'll definitely alert. But as you can see, it's just this coiling of the moving averages, this coiling of potential energy is continuing to happen in Tesla. And so a nice break, and it could launch back up here and be looking at the 217 to 220 range. And we'll do that again, both as a income and generate income and capital growth stock. So awesome. Let's see. That's all I have. Like I said, I've got several others, and Dave. What we like, I know Dave and I have an agreement for, this is for everybody to know, is when we come to this webinar, we want to share at least one potential setup that could lead to a great trade next week for you, just as a courtesy to you, because we appreciate you, coming in on a Friday afternoon and listening to what's going on, or listening to what we see is going on. So again, as a courtesy to you, so we would love it if you wanted to share what we're doing every Friday with your friends and say, you got to listen to these two crazy guys in the Bay Area who, they're giving away free, free stock picks. But I know what is really, really neat. Dave and I have been working together now for, gosh, about it's almost 6 months now, David. And I'm switching back to you as the presenter. I hope that's okay. But we've been working together, and I have just been so inspired by both David and Harlan, his partner. And we've done some collaboration, and we've got some just really awesome stuff that's coming on down the path. I think it's going to be a really surprise a lot of people, as the All About Trends and the active trend traders work together, because ultimately our goal, because I've had a long conversation with both David and Harlan about this, ultimately our goal is, for the subscribers that we have, is to help people, basically people, our fellow traders, trade better. And when you trade better and, write in saying, wow, I'm doing so much better now, that is such a fulfilling thing for all of us and all of us. But so I know we've got several things going on, Dave, but I know you had something you want to talk about today. So may I switch to you as a presenter?
Go ahead. Yeah, and I just want to echo that. We love helping people. That's why we started this, and that was the original intention. It started with us just taking random questions off of Dennis's midweek webinar, and I called him afterward and said that was a lot of fun. Let's do it. Let's do more of that. So we like helping people, and I see a lot of new faces on here, and that's really great to see. And like Dennis said, tell your friends. We want you to be successful. And this is not one of those webinars where we just beat our chests and tell you how great we are and just show you trades we did after the fact. We want to educate you. We want to hear your questions and answer your questions, and we want to show you how we do it. And if it works for you, then we'd love to hear about your success. So that's why we do it. And speaking of listening to folks, somebody a few weeks ago had asked about, because Dennis has a service and we have a service, what about having a combination subscription? And we thought that was a great idea. So we took that. We've created that now. So Dennis charges $49.99 for his premier service. We charge $49.99 for our service now. And so we thought, well, let's give everybody like a 2-for-1 special here. So if you want both of our services, you can have both for one price of $49.99. So you get one, get another free, or however you want to look at it, half price. It's $49.99 to get both of our services. And if you want that, if you're not a subscriber to either one of our services right now, and you'd like to do the combo subscription, just go to marketstocktalk.com. It's right here on the slide. All of the payments are handled securely through PayPal, but you can pay with either a standard credit or debit card, or you can pay with a PayPal account. You just have to choose which option you want once you get to the PayPal order form. And just go there. You'll fill out, there'll be an order form there where you give yourself a username and password so you can access our materials online. Then you go to the PayPal account form and you pay through either PayPal or a credit or debit card. And then on your confirmation website, there'll be a link to link into both of the email systems from our side as well as Dennis's side. Just click on both those links. You fill out a quick little form, and then you get an email to confirm your email address, and you'll be all set. So maybe that sounds a little bit more complicated than it really is. It's actually really simple. But that's what we're offering, and we hope that you'll take advantage of that, because we really want to help you be successful. And for $49.99 with the some of you that have been on these webinars for a long time, you've seen the consistent gains that we've been doing, and we feel that's a very modest investment to earn those gains, and more importantly, to have the knowledge and the confidence to be successful in the market, because that's really what it comes down to. And then you take those gains and apply them to areas of your life that you want to make a difference in. So that's what we're trying to do here. Now, if you are an existing active trend trader subscriber, and you want the combo, you want to add All About Trends to it, no problem. Just give us a call. Just call me up, and we can process your order over the phone. It would be $24.99 to add us to your subscription. And then the same thing, if you're an existing All About Trends subscriber, just call Dennis. His phone number's here, and he will process your order over the phone. So you'll be able to get both if you're already an existing subscriber. So that's it. Market Stock Talk is the website for the combo subscription, and if you're already a subscriber, just to either one, give us a call. And if you're a subscriber to both already, then you should be set. You shouldn't be paying more than $49.99 right now. So so anyway, that's what we're offering, and I think I'll just be quiet now and get to questions and answers, because that's what we really want. We want to hear your questions and help answer them, and that's it.
So David, thank you very much. I hope everybody got that written down. It will be, the recording will be posted a little bit later today, and in case you missed writing it down. And Ray Hernandez, you guys don't have an options portion on your site, do you, Dave? I don't think so, do you?
We don't. We did a while ago, but we decided we'll stick to our knitting. We're good at trading stocks, and that's one of the nice synergies about having both services is that we do stocks, and Dennis does stocks as well, but Dennis also has an options component with that too. So you kind of get the best of both worlds.
Yeah, and so awesome. So let me, Dave, I'm going to switch. I'll switch back to you before we're done, but I also just wanted to hit real quick on some of the things that we are going to be offering with the active trend traders. We do a Wednesday night training webinar where we talk about various training aspects. It could be psychology of trading. We had a really great time, a great session a couple of weeks ago, what it takes to trade for a living, and some of the other things that we're going to be bringing on board over the next several weeks and months is some training modules on active trend trading basics and advanced topics. And again, I send out alerts on my income generating trades and trading TNA, and then eventually we'll be going to be doing some mentoring, which is a separate aspect, but it's mentoring education process. And we're fastly moving to where this is all going to kick off 1 July. However, we're offering the services now specifically for what the premium or premier. I like that premier thing rather than premium. I may steal that from you, Dave. So this is where we're at. Also, I do tech tips on Market Tech Talk, my YouTube channel, and that's where the recording for this video, this webinar is posted. And then there's contact information for both David and I. And David, I'm going to switch back to your screen and start fielding some questions. So again, thank you guys